Hello, welcome back. This is going to be a lore reading. So let's see what we've learned after our escapade into the Brazilian forest. Let's see. Is this wild Sylvan? For demons crossing over into our world, mankind is not always the preferred prey. Possessing humans means risking encounters with powerful mages and Templars, as well as other complications. Some demons find it far easier to seek out animals or even plants, assuming that these will make as suitable a host as a human. Those that possess trees are known as wild Sylvans, as opposed to the tame Sylvans, domesticated Sylvans. Or would it be, domesticated Sylvans. Generally, only demons of rage, the weakest of the demon hierarchy, will become a Sylvan. Once they do, they must spend a great deal of time twisting and molding the host in order to make it mobile, and once they have the Sylvan is a powerful and deadly opponent. Once they have this. Alright, that makes sense. Other more intelligent spirits have also been known to become Sylvans and are generally much less violent, but these are rare. So possibly the Great Grand Oak is one of those? Slow but immensely powerful, wild Sylvans prefer to lie in ambush, waiting for a victim to become lost, tired, or trapped before closing in for the kill. They hide among regular trees, nearly undetectable, until they begin to move and to reach. They seemed pretty recognizable to me, but anyway. When they do come to life, as some travelers say, they stand tall, roots forming into legs and feet, and branches stretching out into arms. When not presented as a living target, however, it has been noted that Sylvans often fall into a form of dormancy, perhaps brought on by the nature of their tree host. While mobile, they normally return to wherever they were rooted once the prey has been killed. For both these reasons, a forest that has Sylvans can become incredibly dangerous to pass through for very long periods of time. Werewolf. And Dane, he stood his ground. The fanged beast approached. He saw the rage within its eyes, the wolf that once was there. The sword he raised, merciful death be praised, to the Maker went his prayer. From the popular tale of Dane and the Werewolf, a legend of Ferelden circa 450 Black. Ferelden lore is full of instances where these creatures have plagued the countryside, wolves possessed by rage demons and transformed into humanoid monsters with incredible speed and strength, able to spread a curse to those they bit that would drive them mad into unthinking fury. When in this enraged state, a human host can likewise become possessed and be transformed into a feral, wolf-like beast. Tales differ on these werewolves of human origin, some claiming that their transformation into a bestial form happens uncontrollably, some claim the transformation is irreversible. As is often the case with demonic tales, both versions were most likely true at some point. The ability of normal dogs to detect a werewolf even when it is in human guise is what first led Freldens to adopt dogs as indispensable companions in every farmhold. The alliance between humans and regular wolves is the subject of the popular Ferelden folktale Dane and the Werewolf. The actual folk hero Dane led a crusade to eliminate the werewolf threat during the early Black Age, and while werewolves have never assumed the same prominence since, there have been reports of individual packs lurking in remote forests in recent years. Some have even been reported to have developed an uncanny willpower and intelligence, though why this is still unknown. Almost makes you wonder if they didn't have like a society or something on their own. It was destroyed. Items. Archons of the Imperium. Archon Denarius of Tevinter. Journeyed deep into the lightless realm of the dwarves, and there forged a covenant with Endrin's Stonehammer. lord of the Dwarven Empire, and as a symbol of their pact, Endrin gave the Archon a pair of rings, one that shone like the evening star and one as luminous as the dawn. So long as the rings were united, Daenerys need fear nothing, for the friendship of the dwarves is a mighty sword and shield. The Archon wore the rings of dawn and dusk for 20 years and never removed them, and when he died, they were cut from his fingers by magisters squabbling over his vacant throne, then separated and finally lost. From my book, formerly in the possession of a hermit. Legend. Mithal, the great protector, Elganar, had defeated his father the sun, and all was covered in darkness. Pleased with himself, Elganar sought to console his mother the earth by replacing all that the sun had destroyed. But the earth knew that without the sun nothing could grow. She whispered to Elganar this truth, and pleaded with him to release his father, but Elganar's pride was great and his vengeance was terrible, and he refused. It was at this moment that Mithal walked out of the sea of Earth's tears and onto the land. She placed her hand on Elganar's brow, and at her touch he grew calm and knew that his anger had led him astray. Humbled, Elganar went to the place where the sun was buried and spoke to him. Elganar said he would release the sun if the sun promised to be gentle and return to the earth each night. The sun, feeling remorse at what he had done, agreed. So the sun rose again in the sky, shone his golden light upon the earth. Elganar and Mithal, with the help of the earth and the sun, brought back to life all the wondrous things that the sun had destroyed, and they grew and thrived. And that night, when the sun had gone to sleep, Mithal gathered the glowing earth around his bed and formed it into a sphere to be placed in the sky, a pale reflection of the sun's true glory. From the tale of Mithal's touch, as told by Yisharel, keeper of the relevant tribe of the Dalish Elves. Interesting. I feel like this seems to kind of avoid the issues that a number of pantheons have, where a bunch of the relationships end up being incestuous, or at least that might. I know it's an issue in Greek. I think it might also be an issue in Egyptian. I'm not sure about Norse. And I know even less about the Hindu religions, and I'm sure there are other pantheons as well. The Celtic, Slavic. But anyway, culture and history. What do we have? Legend of the Juggernaut. The arm of the Imperium is long. Once it reached even this forest, in a time when the barbarian tribes of the Clane still ruled the land. The Devinter Magisters fought to take it from them, inch by inch if need be, using terrible magic. The Magister Harak brought an army to this forest, led by Alaric, his friend and general. For Alaric, Harak fashioned a suit of the finest armor, infused it with lyrium and his own blood magic, and named it Juggernaut after the unstoppable giant golems guarding the gates of Minrathous. Thus armed, did Alaric win many victories against the Clane. When defeat came, it came from within. Alaric's own lieutenants rose up against him, jealous of the favor he had curried with the Magisters and eager to take the Juggernaut armor from him. Alaric was slain, and each successor gained the armor. And as each successor gained the armor, the other lieutenants turned against him instead. The Devinter outpost fell to vicious infighting. In a fury, Magister Hart voyaged the outpost and slew the last 3 lieutenants. The Clane, however, were already approaching the outpost in force. The barbarian chieftain of the Clane desired the fabled armor himself, and even with all his power, Harak could not hope to stand against all of them. Instead, Harak used the last of his own life force to cast a spell of blood magic that bound demons to the bodies of the 3 dead lieutenants, as well as Harak's own lifeless corpse. These bound revenants hid the pieces of the Juggernaut army, and although the barbarian sacked the outpost, the chieftain never found the army or found neither the armor nor the revenants. The Juggernaut armor's legend lives on, and more than one brave soul has ventured into the depths of the Princeling forest in search never to return. From Frolin Folklore and History by Sister Petrine, Gentry Scholar. And that appears to be everything for this codex reading. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and have a nice day.